Hi there, it's Danny here from littlegemsrockshop.co.uk and Little Gems TV. Today we've come to our warehouse, which is just outside of Kroger, and the purpose is to talk a little bit about how you can make money out of your hobby, crystals or gemstones or fossils. Going back quite a few years, obviously that's what I've done myself because it's been a passion since I was a child. And I spent several years in my teens humming and hawing as to whether anyone else would be interested in crystals before I finally got around to it, far too late, in my early 30s. And then I established that it wasn't just me that had a passion for this, other people did too. Luckily now we've opened up a warehouse selling wholesale crystals to the trade, and we supply shops, visitor centres, schools, museums all around the country. But I've always had a great passion for people who start out, because of course I've been there myself, and the concept, of course, I always like to think is from small acorns, big oaks to grow. We sell crystals obviously in bulk quantities by the bag, etc. to trade, and please inquire on the links below to find out more about that. But also just to talk a little bit about the ideas of where you can sell crystals. I think one really important thing nowadays is to embrace social media. Doesn't matter what size of event that you're going to be selling crystals is, whether it's a warehouse open day like we have here, or whether it's a party at home. The important thing is to get the word out that you're there and what you sell, and to actually get conversations about it going on social media, to stimulate people's idea about actually coming to your event. Social media, of course, is also a great place to promote your website, which is another key part of promoting your business, but also to many people in e-commerce, a key place to sell your product. I don't like to kind of put the word crystal as a product, but ultimately when we're talking about selling things, it is. So obviously you can have a website and actually sell your gemstones or fossils or polished stones on there. If so, the thing is, many of our items are so unique and one-off. Apart from things like polished stones and standard amethyst clusters, many of these pieces are quite one-off pieces, and I'd like to try to photograph them as a one-off piece and sell them individually, if that's the case, because the character of a particular piece or the energy of a particular piece can be very different to the next piece. So if you look on our website, the Little Gems Rock Shop, you'll see there's maybe 8,000 lines quite often listed online, but a big percentage of those, maybe 60%, are one-off pieces. Because the slight disadvantage to selling online is the fact that many of these are so tactile, so the closer up pictures you can get, the more angles you can show your piece at, the better chance you've got of selling it. You can sell obviously as well as on your own website, you can sell on eBay as another possible, and we've had several customers that sold exclusively on eBay. But I do often feel that if you have got a website, it's very important to promote it, not just on social media, but to actually back up your website by going out to wherever people are, to go to mind, body, spirit events, craft shows, markets, wherever it might be, to actually say to people, this is us, this is where we sell our product. The types of event you can sell at, of course, over the years we've tried quite a few different, many different styles of event. So the first one, as I said, is you can obviously sell crystals in your home, or a friend's home, as a party plan type of principle. So you can have a day in your garden, a sort of small coffee morning bait, and incorporate crystals and jewellery into it. and sell it that way. You can sell to like-minded groups of people. So for instance, I know a lot of people sell crystals at psychic evenings as an example. One key group of people which I think absolutely lap at crystals are children. So I've always found that school fates, etc., are also a really good favourable place to sell crystals, and fossils as well. And it tends to be the boys tend to love fossils. Might seem a bit sexist, but tends to be a slight split in which children are attracted to crystals or fossils. And I found actually that from experience that junior schools tend to be by far much better places, because that's where there's a real passion, a real hunger for information about fossils and crystals. It's also covered quite a bit in the syllabus, and it tends to be the fates, etc., which occur during the daytime when both the parents and the children are around, which we've always had more success at than evenings, pamper evenings, etc., which occur on later on in the day. But that's just my personal experience, of course. The other thing which we actually started out doing was to sell crystals at craft fairs, country fairs, and mind, body and spirit events. It's a little bit hit and miss for the first few years of starting your business up, as to know which events are going to work well and which events aren't. Some events unfortunately aren't advertised that well, and other events are advertised well but cost an absolute fortune per table. So as I said, there's different target audiences, and maybe it's at the beginning to identify which of those you want to go for. So children was one target audience. Obviously another target audience is the spheric sort of healing side of interest in crystals. There's also the aesthetic side for people who use it for interior design, who want to just aesthetic something that aesthetically looks nice in the home. And then of course there's the mineral fossil collectors as well. So there's four target audiences there, and there's obviously deciding which you want to home in on. But initially it could be just trying to find what is the best in your area. So obviously children was one, healing was another one. So the healing side, of course, it could be that you've got some healing centres, beauticians, hairdressers in your area which don't sell crystals. And it could be that if you put crystals in there, they'd be interested in taking a cut. So if you offered them a commission of say 20% or 30% or 15% if they sell your crystals. So that's another potential place you could sell crystals, obviously. Obviously at the higher end there's obviously a shop. And it gets to a point that if you're doing craft fairs, etc., you'll probably get to a point where if you are hopefully making enough money, you actually want to sell in one spot, not want to lug it from place to place. But often I think obviously the risk in starting a shop straight out, right, can be quite big. So just to test your market initially, trying all those different avenues is a kind of good place to start. The important thing I feel sometimes in life is to make a leap, and sometimes the first step before you do it can seem a bit intimidating, a bit frightening. But if you make that leap, if you make that step, the longest journey, the journey of 1,000 miles, as it says, starts with a single step. And until you actually test that market out, until you actually buy that first batch of crystals, and I remember going back 15, 16, 17 years ago, the initial outlay of going to the first wholesaler after I'd collected my first batch of crystals myself with on the beaches and that sold, buying crystals with the aim of selling them at first seemed a bit daunting. Until you've made that leap, then of course you don't know how long the journey's going to be. But certainly in terms of if you want to obtain gemstones, minerals, crystals, fossils, healing cards, healing CDs, then obviously we're here to help, so please contact us. And I think roughly that's all I've got to say today. But, the details are below, and it'll be lovely to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.